today's episode on WarpDriveM. We are going to continue working on the 3 series, the E46. I received the clutch. I will receive in this episode the flywheel. We are going to bolt everything to the engine. We are going to plug the engine back into the car, and I hope we can start the car in this episode. So let's begin. We are going to replace now the seal from the crankshaft. On this side you can clearly see it's leaking. Holy crap. Whew, this one was a tough job. Check this out. I had to destroy it because I tried everything and I wasn't able to take it out normally. We have the seal in here, and if you rotate the seal you will notice that you have like two grooves, one in here and on the opposite side another one. So these two normally you should align with the engine block and the oil pan. Whew, it's done. I've managed to install this. I think it's a very good install, properly installed, because I have the old engine right there in that corner, and I've checked that engine and I've checked in here and it's the same level, yeah, I think it's done. I think we've made it. We have in here the new clutch, we have the pressure plate, the clutch is right in there, we have the thrust bearing, and I hope this time will fit onto the gearbox. Yes, we have the right one, finally. The clutch looks to be with the same spline as the gearbox, but let's test it before we install anything. Let's see this. Oh, yes sir, yes indeed, perfect. So now we have the clutch assembly. We just have to wait for the flywheel, and we are going to install everything into the car. And we have a flywheel now. This is the new used one that I bought. It's in pretty good shape. It even has all the grooves from factory. No wear and tear, no scratches, nothing. It's in perfect shape. In here we have ours that it doesn't have any kind of problems, but this one, yeah, making some weird noises. Anyway, let's install this one. We have the clutch in there. Let's put everything back and slap the engine inside. I've checked the alignment, everything is aligned, and I think we can install the engine. I'm going to take now the bolts out. I'm going to prepare the crane. Where is the crane? Oh, here behind me, the crane. I'm going to make some room in here. I'm going to check if I tighten the engine mounts and stuff like that, small stuff. And yeah, I think we are ready to install the engine into this car. Whew, it's finally in. It took me a while, for real. I've struggled a few hours, to be honest, and I wasn't able to fit the engine, and I remove the subframe, not really removed, just lower the subframe, made the engine with the gearbox, and after that I put the subframe back, and in this way I've managed to install it. Now I'm gonna try to put the intake. I clean everything in here, as you can see. I vacuum everything, of course. I've cleaned the intake as well. We have new gaskets, of course, everywhere on the intake. All the gaskets are new, and yeah, I'm gonna update you when I'm done with this part, because I want to start the car in this episode, of course. Let me give you some updates. I had a few friends coming by, and we worked a little bit off camera, of course. As you can see, we have the intake. I've put, in fact, almost everything in order to start the car for the first time after 4.5 years. I'm pretty sure I forgot something, because it's always like this. I have to tighten a few bolts in the back between the gearbox and the engine. I've tied almost everyone. I have one in here, it's very tight, but I have to go under the car and behind the gearbox with a lot of adapters to tighten that, but it's hand tight, it's enough, and other than that everything is tight. I think I've put everything. I think just the climate compressor, but I'm going to put that later. We don't have any kind of exhaust, so it's going to be loud, extremely loud. I went under the car and I drained the rest of the oil. It was just a little bit, maybe half a liter in the engine, not more than that, not even half a liter. But the color is okay, and if you see some dirt and stuff like that in the oil, it's from the pan, because I had a lot of different stuff in here, like sand and everything. It doesn't matter. We have fresh oil. I think it's enough, if I can focus to show you. Anyway, we have enough engine oil. The oil filter is new. When I've installed all the gaskets on the oil filter housing and everything, I've installed a new oil filter. I've used all the sensors that came with the engine, because this engine has 140,000 kilometers, so 60,000 kilometers less than the original engine, so I'm pretty sure the sensors are okay. But in either way, we have more access if we need to replace some sensors. We don't have the secondary air pump, we don't have any kind of O2 sensor, so we will have some errors if the car will start, of course. We have all the spark plugs, everything, because it's not a brand new engine. I'm gonna give it a go as is, with everything plugged, injectors, spark plugs, everything. Just have to put a battery in here and recheck a few times if everything is plugged, and we are going to give it a try. We have battery. I've put all the connectors, no fire whatsoever for now. I think I took all the tools from the engine bay. We have a new fire extinguisher in here in case of emergency. We have the key that we wrote. Elias, in fact, done this key, and now we are going to test the engine, the key, and the electrical system, everything, in fact. Let's see. This is a nerve-wracking moment, of course, because I've invested a lot of time and money, of course, but if the car will start, this will be a very, very important step. Whew, let's do this. Key is here, ignition. The clutch feeling, it's a little bit strange, to be honest. Why is that? No idea. Let's see. Ignition. Let's do this. Holy smokes, it freaking started. Holy smokes! Oh my god! Let's put the windows down. Oh my god, I'm so freaking nervous right now because I have just one key for now. Let's. Whew! It was loud as hell. I'm not sure how good you heard that on camera, but it freaking fucking started. It freaking started. Yes! Whew! Finally, after years and after months, I wanted to say after weeks of work, it's finally started. Now I'm going to put the camera on a stand and I'm going to go inside and let's crank it once again. Let's try once again, and this time I want to test the gearbox and the clutch, of course, and if everything will work you should see that the car is moving. Let's do this. Holy crap! Holy crap, it's working! So finally, after 4.5 years, the car is working. Of course, this is the first step because we have a lot of other stuff to do in order to put this car back on the road, but we know for a fact that the key is working, the electrical part is working, the engine is working, the car moves. I think this is the most important step in rebuilding this car. So from here on, I think I have to install the exhaust because I cannot do this to my neighbors. I'm going to install the cat, maybe the whole exhaust, not really sure, but the cat for sure. And after that, I want to put water onto this engine because I want to be sure that the thermostat is working, is not leaking, and we can leave the car running for a longer time. And apparently the gas is good because the car started and we have a full tank of gas from the last owner. Maybe it's not 4 years old, maybe somebody tried to start the car, not really sure, but the needle shows us that we have a full tank of gas. And this is a good stopping point. I'm really excited that the car is back alive. The car starts, moves. I think is the most important part for a car, of course. So we've reached that point. Now I'm going to make a list with all the parts that I need in order to run the car with water. And in the next episode we are going to put the exhaust first because it's very loud. I have to put the exhaust because, like I said, it's too loud. And we need to check that we have all the hoses and everything in order to put antifreeze in the car to leave it run for a longer time. But all of that will be in the next episode. If you want to see more progress on this one, join me for the next episode. If you like this episode, please give me a thumbs up. If you don't like the video, as usual, thumbs down. Until next time, see you later.